Good morning and welcome back to Chill with Nicole. This morning we're going to do a little manual facial lymph technique. So your lymphatic system is part of your circulatory system and your immune system. It's very important. It gets rid of excess fluid in our body. And there are manual lymph drainage techniques that people are trained in. And if you have a medical diagnosis such as lymphedema, you should really be seeing a doctor and a therapist trained in lymph drainage. This, however, is just a nice little self-care technique that could get rid of a little bit of swelling in your face if you wake up with a little puffiness. So it is a very gentle technique. So we're going to be using the pads of our fingers. Okay, and you're just going to be moving the skin very gently. If I'm pressing hard, I'm going to be moving skin all around, and that is way too hard, especially for the skin on our face. So it's just a little pressure. We're going to start from the bottom, work to the top, and then back to the bottom. So this is best done on skin if you have to do it, over your clothes if you're somewhere. It's okay too, but it's best on skin. So we're going to start under the collarbone. You're going to work your way in towards the sternum. So typically I do this like 8 to 12 times. We're just going to do it a little bit less for the purposes of this video. Okay. Once you're there, you're going to go up to your neck. There's a lot of... It's going to circle back, up, back, and down. When I'm doing this to myself, I do both sides at the same time. You have a lot of lymph nodes in your neck. Little tiny ones. And then we're going to go right under our jawbone here. And you're going to just bring your pressure, very light pressure, down towards your neck. So we're kind of opening up things and letting things drain, which is why we're not starting from the top. We're going to go use the side to the front and the back of the ear, and you're going to just use a little pressure down and back. And again, I do both sides. Down and back. Down and back. And I start from the kind of the middle of my lips, bringing that pressure towards your ears. If you have a little moisturizer on, it kind of helps with the glide. And then I go right under my eyes. The skin in here is very thin, so you gotta be extra gentle. And then down towards each side of my chin. And of course, you would have washed your hands before you put your hands on your face, right? Of course. And then we're going to go kind of under the eyes and at the cheeks at the same time. I'm using the pads and a little bit underneath. Gently towards the ears. And again, remember the skin under your eyes is very sensitive. And then I'm going to start right in the middle of my eyebrows, and I'm going to go up and down to the outsides. So it helps with lymph drainage. It also helps with circulation. And like I said, you're not pushing too hard. You're using very, very light pressure. Once we do that, we're working our way backwards. So again, here, out towards the ears, very light. Down to the outside of the chin. And then from the mouth toward the ear. And then the peace sign again on the front of the ear and then right behind the ear. So you're going to go down and back. And then under the jawbone again. And then the circles up, around. Again, I do both sides. You can do one side if you want. Up and around and down. Up and around and down. And like I said, if you use a little moisturizer, it does make the gliding a little bit easier on your skin. And we're going back to under the collarbone, so down towards the sternum. Like I said again, skin is the best. And do it on your skin. So a little pampering, a little self-care, a little bit of lymph drainage for your face, a little bit of circulation to your face. It feels nice. It's good. You may have learned it a little bit different. That's okay. What you really want to be mindful of is going from the bottom to the top. So you're opening things up and letting them drain, and then going from the top to bottom to let the lymph drain out. Again, very, 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 very light touch. Don't go too hard. And, of course, clean hands. Jose has been bribed this morning with catnip because he was being very fresh and very loud. And it is homegrown catnip, so it's good for him. And now he's pretty happy and a little distracted. No longer interested in me. I think he's looking at the birds outside. Thanks again for joining me. If you are enjoying these videos, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.